Okay, here we go with lecture number 39 and the finite volume series, and we are almost towards the end of our discussion on the fluid flow problem. So, what we are doing, or rather in the middle of doing the discussion, is the Navier-Stokes solver and the discretization. And in the last lecture, if you recall, we have looked at the pressure velocity coupling, the simple algorithm, and then we started looking at the implementation of the boundary condition. And what we have discussed, we discussed the inlet boundary condition, and now today we are going to look at the outlet boundary conditions and different kind of outlet boundary conditions, how the discretized equation needs to be modified and what are the information that is available. So, let us start with the outlet boundary condition. So, what we have done? We have done the inlet boundary condition, and under that umbrella different kind of conditions, and now today we are going to look at the outlet boundary condition. So, the outlet boundary condition could be also different type in the sense could be static pressure defined, it could be mass flow rate defined, it could be flow field defined. So, there are different ways one can actually define the outlet boundary condition. So, let us look at this schematic of a boundary condition where this is the case where static pressure P is specified or static pressure specified. So, once you define the static pressure, and you can see how the, so once you define the static pressure, that means at this is the boundary surface. So, this surface is the boundary surface and your PB is P specified, which is the static pressure. Please note that do not get confused with the static and dynamic pressure or static or total pressure. This is purely the static pressure which is defined here and which actually appears in your discretized equation. So, when you define the static pressure, then the velocity condition is neither known, neither the mass flow rate is known, but what it implies that when you apply the static pressure, this essentially implies that the velocity gradient which is going to be there, del V by del N, that is going to be 0, or the gradient 0 condition will be there at that condition, and also the which is assuming the velocity at the outlet would be equal to that of the boundary element. So, assuming that if you modify, then the coefficients of your discretized equations would get modified. So, ACV which will come from the interior faces, and then there will be a contribution which will come from the boundary face contribution. So, that will modify your coefficient AC. AFB would be 0 at the boundary and the source term. So, the source term, there will be a contribution from the interior faces and there will be a contribution from the boundary face contribution. So, these are the two contribution. So, ACB plus m dot B and the BC, the source term, the contribution come from all the interior faces, these are the interior faces, and the boundary face contribution. So, that is how it turns out, but one has to also ensure, once you get this coefficient modified, one has to also ensure that the flux is zeroed in the outflow surface vector direction only. So, the velocity is usually extrapolated to the outlet by using the boundary flux, and it can be computed as a delta VV equals to delta VC in delta VC EB. EB is the along this perpendicular line along this point which is at the face, boundary face, and connected with the cell center. So, this typically ensure that the gradient along the boundary surface vector is 0. So, then one can use the Taylor series expansion and expand this VB equals to Vc. So, you write the velocity at that phase using the velocity plus delta Vb dCb. So, this is purely from Taylor series. So, with taking the only the first term into the consideration, and then once you get this, then the additional correction is added to the source term. So, the AC coefficient of AC won't get change, the AFB won't get change, but the change comes here in the source term, where your interior phase contribution, which will come from all these phases, they won't change, then but the boundary phase contribution is modified like minus m dot b delta Vb dot dCb minus PbSb. So, this is the change one can add to that when you have a pressure boundary condition which is specified. So, at the outlet, if you apply the pressure or the pressure is specified, then your rest of the coefficient gets changed in this fashion. Similarly, now if you use a, so this is schematic for the specified m dot or mass flux at the boundary. So, you can see at this phase the m dot b is specified. So, this is known, but what is not known in the velocity and the pressure at that phase. So, that is also not known. So, now, so this when you actually apply a mass flow rate or mass flux is specified in incompressible flow, which is essentially equivalent to the specifying the normal component of the velocity. So, the velocity which is calculated by assuring its normal direction can be like this. So, when you, which is Vv equals to Vb EVc. So, the normal component of the velocity is known. As soon as at this phase I specify the mass flow rate, one can calculate the normal component of the velocity. Now, Vb can be obtained from m dot v, rho b Vb dot Sb, rho v magnitude of Vb Sb. So, Vb you get like this. So, once you get this, which will means, so even then this case you have a mass flow rate which is specified, you can get back your velocity which in terms of that mass flow rate, and once you get this velocity, you can actually, this is now the coefficients will be at par the boundary condition where known velocity is provided. So, now rest of the calculation would be similar where we have specified a velocity. Now, apart from that, one can also provide a fully developed outflow. So, fully developed outflow means the at the outlet phase, if this is the outlet phase, there you assume the flow field is fully developed. For very simple example, one can think about when there is a flow through a channel and if it is laminar, very low Reynolds number, so it is laminar, then there is a inflow and at the channel outlet it will take a parabolic profile. So, that is a fully developed parabolic profile. If the flow field is turbulent, then at the end of the channel this could be fully developed turbulent profile. So, this is what the fully developed profile means. So, which means, so velocity gradient at the normal to the outlet phase is going to be again 0. So, del V by del N is going to be at this particular phase, this is the phase, if it is outlet, del V by del N is going to be 0. So, velocity at the outlet essentially going to be or assumed to be known and computed from this 0 normal gradient, and the pressure at that boundary when we assume, so one can calculate Pb equals to Pc plus delta Pc dot dCb. So, the pressure at that boundary can be calculated like that. So, velocity will be treated as known and the coefficient of the momentums will be modified according to the known velocity condition. So, all these conditions when you provide mass flow rate or fully developed condition, these are somehow or other connected with the previous boundary conditions. When you have already specified a velocity condition, they are, the coefficients are going to be modified accordingly. Here what matters here, when you specify a mass flow rate, from mass flow rate first you calculate the velocity, then the coefficients or the discretized equation can be used as we have developed for a known velocity condition. So, one can think about that these conditions like specified mass flow rate or fully developed conditions, these are some sort of a derived boundary conditions from the standard Dirichlet or Neumann kind of boundary conditions, or it is sort of combination of all those fundamental boundary conditions. Now, one more conditions which could be also interesting to look at is the symmetry boundary condition. So, here is the plane of symmetry. Now, you can see this side could be an interior cell, and this is an cell which is imaginary replicating the same interior cell, and the conditions at this particular phase where the symmetry plane is there, the condition supposed to be symmetry. So, in a physical understanding, before we go into the mathematics, the physical understanding is that the whatever value you have, this will be the exactly same, that is how the symmetry is maintained, and if the symmetry is maintained, then along this line the gradient is going to be essentially 0. So, for any variable here, if it is maintained to be symmetry, the del phi by del n has to be 0, that is the gradient which is not going to contribute anything. Now, when you have this and you relate this all this information with the normal component becoming 0, so the results is the 0 also for now when we apply to the velocity boundary conditions, that can actually turns out to be a 0 shear stress condition along the symmetry boundary. So, when you apply this gradient 0 and calculate that, now the unit vector in the direction normal to the boundary is n, and the normal distance, let us say d this is the normal distance and the unit normal vector is n. Then the velocity components normal and parallel to the boundary can be given that v normal to that is 0 and del v which is parallel to that del n equals to 0. That is what the symmetry condition does. And then you can now find out the this one from the v dot n and you can expand this and calculate, and then from there one can also calculate the stress term or the source term like Fb, and from the parallel conditions also you can actually get the other gradient. Now, also since it is a symmetry condition, pressure also it will satisfy that del Pb dot n equals to 0. So, the pressure gradient is also going to be 0, and the pressure at the symmetry boundary can be extrapolated using the condition like delta Pb equals to delta Pc minus delta Pc dot n n. So, like this you can actually extrapolate the pressure at the symmetry boundary. Now, then the pressure could be obtained as Pb equals to Pc plus delta Pb dot dCb, which we have done earlier in the previous case. So, once you get all this information, now you get pressure, velocity and everything. So, your momentum equation, this is your x momentum equation. So, the x momentum equation, the coefficient AC, this will come. So, the superscript u stands for the u velocity component, and then the v stands for the v velocity component, w stands for the w velocity component, and now this will be a contribution there would be from the interior faces. So, these are the interior faces, and then there is a boundary face contribution which will be 2 mu SB nx square by d normal distance. So, this normal distance one needs to put in place. Similarly, the v component will also get modified, the source term also will have a interior component and the component from the boundary face. There you get a slightly involved expression which will also involve pressure term and the diffusion term. Similarly, you can see v direction you need to change, that means the y momentum equation. and if you have a 3-dimensional, z momentum equation will also get changed. So, the symmetry conditions to apply, which is a primarily at that plane of symmetry, you need these two conditions to be satisfied, V perpendicular to be 0 and then V parallel gradient is 0. Then from there the pressure gradient in the normal direction 0, you get the pressure, from here also you get the velocity, then you modify the source term like the stress term, and accordingly you modified all the coefficients which are sitting here in your momentum discretization. So, that actually talks about the boundary conditions which one can use for the velocity equations or momentum equation. Now, we need to look at the boundary condition for pressure correction equation, because in the simple algorithm we have a equation for pressure correction equation, and when you are trying to solve the pressure correction equation, one has to provide proper boundary condition for pressure correction. So, the what one can say at the boundary cell, the mass flow rate from the interior and the boundary phase, this has to be conserved, this will be coming from my continuity, or one can write that at the boundary phase this is the intermediate value m dot f stars or m dot f prime, which is the corrections, and the boundary phase that is going to be 0. So, this is what it actually get you. Now, once you have this condition, then you know this mass flow rate, the star condition is calculated intermediately during the process of the iteration, and this prime is the corrections. When the solution converges, these corrections become 0, so the stars become the solution. Now, one can also note that since at the boundary phase only the boundary cell contributes to the average quantities, so the equations can be slightly modified, like m dot b star equals to rho b Vc star dot Sb minus rho b dCv, this coefficient delta Pb minus delta Pcn dot Sb. So, this equation we have already seen, and the prime equation would be minus rho b and dC Pb prime minus Pc prime. Now, for implementation of the boundary condition, these values like m dot b star, m dot b prime, Pb, Pb prime, all these informations are required. So, like Pb, Pb prime, these are required or needs to be calculated. So, so far whatever discussion we have done, the first type which is designated by a specified mass flow rate, where we can apply that m dot b to be 0. Now, this is how for the pressure corrections equation one has to do. Now, we will go and look at a different kind of pressure corrections equations, I mean boundary conditions, like when you have a wall boundary. So, these boundary conditions or this type of specific boundary conditions that we have already done a discussion while talking about the velocity field discussion. So, this already been done. So, now again same kind of boundary condition, if you are dealing with a physical geometry, it might have an actually wall, and now once you put the wall, the boundary condition needs to be provided. For velocity it is much easier because the velocity no slip boundary condition can be applied, but when you come down to pressure, this is little tricky, because pressure corrections equation what it requires, we do not know the Pb, we do not know the mass flow rate, we only know V at wall, which is essentially equivalent to Pb still not known, m dot b equals to 0 and force also 0. Why this is happening? This is happening because the no slip boundary condition provides the velocity component to be 0, from there we get this. But please note that these boundary conditions that we are right now discussing, this is required for pressure corrections equation. So, having a condition on velocity won't help that much. So, what you require, that the wall boundary condition where the mass flow rate is 0. So, also it will lead to m dot b prime 0, that means the correction would be 0. when there will be no modification which is needed for the pressure correction equation. However, the pressure at the wall is required as is computed using an or a lower order kind of profile. So, Pb can be calculated as the interior cell Pc plus delta Pc previous iteration dot the distance, or you can actually, this is one approach, one can do that. Second approach, one can use some sort of an Pc delta Pc from the previous iteration dot Sb prime minus, this is also we have seen, or third, some lower order extrapolation could be done which will just assign that Pb to be Pc. So, these are three ways one can actually calculate the pressure at that boundary where you need to provide the wall boundary conditions, and one boundary condition means you do not know the pressure, only condition which is known that the velocity because of the no slip condition, and that gets you the mass flux 0, source term 0, from there you can calculate the pressure. Now, the second approach could be inlet boundary conditions. So, also in your domain there is a inlet condition, then the inlet boundary condition one can have, let us say, specified velocity. So, that could be one easy condition where specified velocity, which means my Pb is not known, m dot b is some sort of a specified, and Vb is also specified. So, once you have these things specified, then for a specific velocity at the inlet, the mass flux is known and its corrections would be m dot b prime would be 0. So, this is similar to the wall kind of boundary conditions, but the term is simply dropped from the pressure corrections equation. So, the pressure at the boundary can be extrapolated from the internal pressure field like what we have already done using similar kind of things. Now, another way to do that, you can specify the pressure and the velocity directions. In this case, you have Pb which is specified, and then you have m dot b which is not known, and then you know Vb which is also not known, only thing the direction is provided, Ev is known, that is the direction of the velocity. So, what one can do, since Pb pressure is known and Pb prime would be 0 for corrections, so one can do that, but this does not mean m dot b prime would be 0, mass flux would be not 0. So, note that. So, then the inlet can be treated as a Dirichlet boundary condition for the pressure correction equation, and the P prime, the coefficient of the P prime now would become like this: AC P prime rho f df, this is interior phase contribution, and then the boundary phase contribution. So, with this you can actually solve the specific boundary condition which provides the pressure condition. Now, similarly we need to look at or tackle the outlet boundary conditions. Now, outlet boundary conditions, one option could be specified pressure, that means Pb is specified and what is not known, Mb not known, Vb not known. So, for the specified pressure, the Pb prime is going to be 0 for no corrections, or from there one can calculate m dot b prime equals to rho b dc into Pb prime minus Pc prime. So, using that you can calculate m dot b, and secondly the velocity direction could be needed, and then to take the direction of the Bb to that with the upwind case of the Vc, and then the corrections coefficients will be modified like that. So, you get summation over all the interior faces rho f df, and then the boundary contribution rho b dc, that coefficients. So, these corrections would take care of that. Now, alternatively outlet case, it could be specified mass flow rate where m dot f be specified and PB is not known, VB is not known. Since m dot b is specified, then m dot b prime would be 0 for all the corrections, I mean not required corrections, and simply drop the pressure corrections equation with no modification required for the coefficients of the boundary element. By setting this 0, one can do that, and then the pressure corrections the boundary is set equal to the pressure corrections at the boundary cell centroid. So, using that one can solve the specified mass flux conditions. So, apart from that, there are few more which are also derived kind of conditions, like also at the outlet one can have fully developed flow, that could be one condition. Then one can also have symmetry boundary condition. Now, apart from that, these are the some derived conditions. Now, what we have done now, we have a simple algorithm that we have discussed, and which actually solves for both continuity, momentum and pressure corrections. So, while solving that, you need boundary conditions. So, we have talked about inlet boundary condition for all the equations, outlet boundary conditions, wall boundary condition, and then other boundary conditions which come under inlet, outlet and wall. So, different kind of these conditions we have talked. Now, there is a different class of simple family which are slightly advanced. Simple is one of the basic algorithm that was proposed, and lot of commercial CFD code that uses even other CFD codes also which are based on finite volume technique, they use that, but there are different class of algorithm which are available, like simple C, then simple R, then you have piezo, prime, simple X, simple M, simple ST. So, these are different variant of simple algorithm, but the underlying algorithm remains the simple algorithm, and some sort of an modification is done while doing those calculations of the iterative process. Now, we will discuss couple of more, like let us say we will discuss simple C and piezo obviously, and to discuss piezo we may need to discuss about prime, because piezo is some sort of a combination of these two is piezo. So, piezo is kind of a combination of these two solver. So, what happened to simple C algorithm? Now, again as I said, this is a modified version of simple algorithm, and it is derived by assuming the velocity correction at point C is some sort of an, so the velocity correction at C is some sort of an weighted average correction. I mean taking care of that, some weighted average corrections of the neighboring elements. So, one mathematics becomes then BC prime, which was calculated as over all the cell AF V, VF prime over F NBC AF B, which will get you summation of F over all the cell AFB VF, which will be VC prime F NBC AFB. Now, we use our H operator that we have done. So, this guy can be written as like F NBC AFB VA prime by ACV equals to VC prime summation of F over C AFV by ACV equals to HCV prime equals to VC prime HC1, and then instead of neglecting the AC bar V prime term, so in simple what we have done that it neglects the term HC bar V prime. So, instead of now in this case we do not neglect this term, rather it is replaced. So, in this particular case this term is replaced by an equation which can be corrected as 1 plus HC1 BC prime equals to minus DCV delta P prime C, which will lead to VC prime equals to minus DCV delta P prime C. So, now what it does, so from here one can use to derive the pressure correction equation, and the same result can be achieved by adding and subtracting the term of F NBC AFBC from the momentum equation. So, you use this one in the momentum equation, and then if once you do that, the combining everything, it will lead to the ACV plus summation of F NBC AFB BC plus F NBC AFB BF minus VC equals to minus VC delta PC plus BCB, which in turn in a compact form one can write BC plus HC V minus BC equals to minus DC delta P C plus BC. So, this it can be used for the velocity corrections as BC prime equals to minus HC V prime minus BC prime minus DCV delta P prime C. So, the term, this term is dropped, which is equivalent to the approximation of the previous equation. A modified velocity correction is used driving the pressure correction. So, this is dropped and only this retain this term. So, this is a better estimate in simple C. The relaxation of the pressure becomes unnecessary and as compared to simple. So, in this case we may not require to be the relax the pressure, and the resultant velocity corrections will satisfy better the momentum equation, but consequently at higher convergence rate is obtained. So, the convergence rate is higher for this case. So, that is important. Now, the second another algorithm which sits in between is called the prime algorithm. Prime is stands for pressure implicit momentum explicit. So, the momentum equation solved explicitly, and the explicit treatment is justified by the mole contribution to the convergence. On the other hand, the pressure corrections pressure equation is solved implicitly. So, since the momentum equation is solved explicitly, one can get the new or intermediate velocity corrections like minus HC Vn minus DCV delta Pn, then C plus VCB, and the velocity correction is applied to derive the pressure correction equation. So, the correction fields are now the correction fields one can obtain as Vc double star equals to Vc star plus Vc prime and Pc star equals to Pc n plus Pc prime, and the corrected field, this will satisfy the equation Vc double star equals to minus Hc V double star minus Dc V delta P star C plus Bc V, which is minus Hc V star plus V prime minus Dc V delta P n plus P prime, which is C plus Vcb. Now, which will lead to the expression relating to the pressure and velocity field, like Vc prime equals to minus Hc V star minus Vn plus Hc V prime minus Dcv delta Pc prime. So, this particular term, I mean, if you substitute in the continuity equation, which will get you back minus f NBC rho f df delta Pf dot Sf equals to minus summation f NBC m dot star f plus summation NBC rho f Hf V star minus Vn plus H bar V prime dot Sf. Now, the underlined term which is here, this can be neglected, or typically this is neglected. So, the term which is neglected in the prime, this underlined term can become smaller, and but then the term neglected in the simple. The simple algorithm, the neglected term was Hc V prime. So, this was not that smaller and can lead to the, I mean, slower convergence rate, but in this prime algorithm this term is quite smaller compared to that, and the neglection of that term does not have too much of difference, and it actually leads to better convergence. So, now using this simple C and prime, the algorithm which actually works is a piezo algorithm. So, piezo algorithm is an interesting, it stands for again the in between of these simple and these things. And what happens in the piezo algorithm, that the which one neglected term in the simple algorithm, like Hc V prime, it is partially recovered in second character step. So, the piezo is essentially based on some sort of a predictor character kind of approach, and so what one can look at it, that because we have in the simple we have computed V prime and then neglected this guy, the continuity satisfying the V star star, the quantity V star star and pressure P star, so which were used to recalculate the coefficients of the momentum equation, and then to solve it explicitly. The new velocity field V star star is also used to calculate the m star 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 at the element faces using Rey-Chow interpolation, and this guy Hc V prime is also partially recovered, and the equation that does is that equals to Vc triple star plus Vc double prime, which is minus Hc V double star, this is double star minus Dc V double star delta P star C plus B C double prime, which will be minus H C double star V star plus V prime minus D C V double star delta P star C plus V C double prime, which is minus H C double star V star minus H C double star V prime minus D C V double star delta P star C plus V C double prime. And this, if you write H C double star V star minus D C V double star delta P star C minus H C double star H C double star minus D C V delta P prime C plus V C double prime. So, this equivalent to your V C triple star. So, this will become V C 1 triple star plus V C double prime minus H C double star D C V delta P prime C. So, this term represent the portion of the H C V prime which was neglected, and it is kind of in this algorithm partially recovered. And the second velocity correction, the second velocity correction that satisfies that V C double prime equals to minus H C double star V double prime minus D C V double star delta P prime C. Now, using the Riochao interpolation between points, so interpolation between C and F, these are the cell neighbors, one can obtain the new pressure corrections equation, which is NBC rho F dF delta Pf double prime dot Sf equals to minus F NBC m dot F star plus summation of F NBC rho F Hf bar V double prime dot Sf. So, this is again a term which are again this is neglected in the piezo also, and this corrector step may be replaced as many as times desired, so that you can lead to better convergence. So, if you look at how it works, so this actually kind of giving you the complete piezo algorithm, and one can also look at it any finite volume books, those are mentioned. It is a very standard algorithm. So, what happens, you first, this is at the t plus delta t time iteration. So, this is a physical iteration. So, outer loop, as we have done in the simple, this is physical time integration. So, what you do at the time level t plus delta t, so you have all m dot f n. So, here m dot f n, v n, p n. So, these are all guess. So, this step is the guessing step. So, you guess everything, then you assemble and solve for momentum equation for all the star quantity. That means, the first level of intermediate step where you calculate all the star quantity. Then you compute here the m dot f star using Riochao interpolation. You then after that, at this step you collect everything and solve for pressure corrections. Once you are done, then obviously using the pressure correction, the m dot f star, v star and p n is obtained. So, these are use these, correct these things to get m dot F double star. So, at this step you finally get m dot F double star and V double star and P star, which is calculated based on these values, which are corrected values using the P prime equations. Now, this portion of the algorithm, particularly this is exactly what we do in the simple algorithm. Now, here we again assemble everything and explicitly solve for the momentum, and here you solve for V triple star, because already at the second level of correction. So, what happens is that it goes in multi-level iteration. So, the first level you do simple kind of algorithm, and initially you started with the guess value. Once you get a corrected value, you use that for the next level of algorithm, where you obtain V star, V double star. Then again you calculate the m dot F triple star using Ricci interpolation. Then you get pressure corrections equation, here you corrections for P double prime, and then after that at this step what you do, this step you actually get the corrections field m dot F triple star, V triple star and P star, and these correction fields are used to calculate m dot F fourth star, V fourth star and P double star. So, these are used. Now, if the number of corrector step exceeded, if it is yes then you move, if it is no then you actually assign those value here to the double star value and repeat this process. So, this is the part of prime algorithm, and this prime algorithm is repeated. But if that is exceeded, then you do at this step you get m dot F n equals to m dot F 4 star, V n equals to V 4 star and P n equals to P double star. So, you assign that, if it is converged you move ahead, if it is not you go back and repeat this test. So, again you compile simpler piezo algorithm. If it is converged you update these things for the next t plus delta t iteration, advance in time, again the time limit exceeded stop, or you go back and do the physical iteration. So, it does twice kind of or 2 times of the iteration in the process, and now that is why piezo is provide better stability, better convergence, and if you have a slightly non-orthogonal skewed grid and those kind of cases, actually piezo works better than simple algorithm or simple C algorithm. So, that is why it is preferred, and lot of the CFD codes actually is based on piezo, they provide a better stability and better convergence. Now, moving ahead, we have used under relaxation factor. So, now one can look at the optimum under relaxation factor for V and pressure corrections. So, what one can see, if you recall the velocity corrections, how we do that? We do that minus dc into del p c, and once and calculating the pressure field, we use some sort of an under relaxation in the velocity corrections, and we wrote in this fashion, where Vc prime equals to minus Hc V prime lambda dc delta p prime c. So, that is how we written, and now if you equate these two guys or these two equations, one can write minus dc delta p prime equals to minus Hc V prime minus lambda, which will provide lambda p equals to this, or so that gives an. So, the simple C algorithm eliminated the need to under relaxation pressure corrections and result in an optimum acceleration rate. So, therefore, using an approximation introduced with the simple C, the velocity corrections at C can be written and weighted average like this. So, this is done in simple C, and this is the corrections for lambda for p prime. So, the pressure correction equation, this kind of correction factor. Now, when you move ahead from the simple to simple C, the kind of corrections was eliminated, and the velocity corrections can be estimated like this. This already we have seen. So, there is nothing new here that we are writing. So, if you go back to your expression for the simple C or simple algorithm, you will find this expression, and then the coefficients can be written in this fashion, invoking the under relaxation factor. So, if you simplify that, you will get this, and so the role of under relaxation would limit to this. Now, if you substitute this equation in the velocity corrections approximation here, if you use this one here, then you get V c prime equals to a b by lambda, from where you get lambda p equals to 1 minus lambda b. So, what people have seen that simple algorithm with its under relaxation factor satisfying this equation provides to similar to that kind of simple C kind of algorithm. So, that is an optimum lambda calculation for simple algorithm which can behave like an simple C algorithm. Now, one more important thing which one can discuss is the Ryo-Chow interpolation and the treatment of the various terms in the Ryo-Chow interpolation. So, first one can look at the under relaxation term. Now, the under relaxation term in the momentum equation, this is how one has written the momentum equation, and the under relaxation term written like that. So, if you do some sort of an algebra, this is for momentum equation and velocity corrections, you get back this equation, which is again we have looked at while looking at the momentum corrections equation, and then the Ryo-Chow interpolation should be written in this fashion, and this particular term one can express that contribution from the element C and the contribution from element F. So, finally, this actually leads to a some sort of an calculations of the phase variable which is written as Vf. So, all this algebra you can carry out because this starts with the momentum equation. The important point here is that you get back the surface value which is a average surface value, then there is a delta p f and delta p gradient, and then 1 minus lambda. So, this is how when you use under relaxation the Ryo-Chow interpolation actually gets modified. Similarly, same equations can get modified for the temporal discretization. So, when you have written the temporal here, this stands for t minus delta t or previous time steps, and nothing stands for t or the present time step. So, this is my momentum equation with all the discretized form, then you write at the phase, this is the modified, and the phase value can be average like that, and once you expand this, finally you get this is an important calculation for the transient term, how the phase value one can treat, and that case you get phase value minus this and you use these things. So, also one can do the treatment of the under relaxation body force term, and body force term if you do the treatment, so you can actually get. So, and then just let us look at one important thing for the interpolations for all combined effects, which takes care of the under relaxation term, transient term, and it also takes care of the body force term. So, then the surface vector Vf is a average dFb delta Pf minus delta Pf bar dFb, this will the term which will come due to body force term, and then these contributions are there. So, this is how one can look at the interpolation scheme in this kind of system. Now, having said that, that pretty much actually takes care of the discussion on the incompressible flow. Now, we will extend the discussion, similar discussion where you can also obtain the pressure corrections equation or all these things for compressible cases. Now, there is a important difference between compressible case where it is like that is density is no more constant and Mach number is quite high or greater than 1. So, that is where the compressibility effect starts acting, and once that is happening, you cannot actually assume the density to be constant, rather density to be approximated using ideal gas law. So, that is where the now in the compressible flow solver there are two types of approach. One can have density based algorithm and one can have pressure based algorithm, and what we are discussing so far all are pressure based algorithm, and when deriving the equation for the incompressible case we did not bother about density too much, though we retain the density in the term. So, similar algorithm we can directly extend for the compressible cases. Now, the other thing is that density based algorithm is not the scope of this particular lecture. So, one can talk about that in details in a separate lecture because it has different kind of issues altogether. So, right now we will concentrate on pressure based algorithm and can see how we can achieve. Now, these are the set of equation. This is your continuity equation, this is your momentum equation, this is your energy equation. Now, when you and one more equation which will be required is the ideal gas law, P equals to rho RT, which will get you calculate the rho by P by RT. So, top of this all you need this equation where the pressure and density can be calculated and connected with the temperature. So, in compressible case when we are talking about now, if you see the difference between incompressible case we did not really bother about the energy equation, but when you come down to compressible case, so these are very standard equation and any textbook on fluid mechanics or compressible flow you can find this equation. So, there is no point going into the details of this discussion. So, and rather we have done detailed discussion in our initial lectures when we derived our governing equations. Now, these are connected. So, let us look at a element C which is our standard element. You have all these 6 faces and these are fluxes or flux vector, and then if you actually take a volume integral of the diffusion term which will convert to a surface integral like this, which we have already seen, and delta dot mu f will be mu f into this, and any flux gradient calculation can be contributed. One is the GC and GF. GC and GF are the geometric coefficients which we have used earlier. Now, how would you derive actually pressure corrections equation? So, first equation that will start with P equals to rho RT, and if you expand rho using some sort of an use Taylor series to expand rho, then you write a rho equals to rho plus del rho by del P. So, it is rho star plus rho prime. So, rho prime becomes Cp like this. So, similarly you have the corrections of the velocity and pressure field. So, the pressure, previous pressure plus correction, density, velocity, mass flow rate. When we looked at the incompressible case, we did not bother to look at the corrections of the density. Now, we need both corrections of all the density and all this. Then if you put this in the semi discretized equation, this is how it looks like, where mass flow rate would be rho f star plus rho f prime, Bf star plus Bf prime, and which will boils down to 2 quantity. So, this is the second correction term is usually this is neglected, and then we obtain the detailed correction term. Now, we will stop here today, and in the last lecture we will see how we derive the pressure correction equation. Thank you.